Welcome to our webinar, Pet Waste in the Green Cart, How Calgary Makes It Work. This webinar is sponsored by the Enviro Pet Waste Network, a nonprofit organization connecting people to information supporting pet waste disposal methods that are kinder to the planet. Calgary is a city in Alberta, Canada, with a population of more than 1.5 million residents. The city collects pet waste in organics recycling carts, along with food and yard waste, and transports it to its composting facility, where it's processed into a safe, nutrient-rich soil amendment. Calgary's not alone. Quite a few cities in Canada recycle pet waste using composting, biodigestion, or water treatment systems. And many councils in Australia allow pet waste to be composted with food and organic waste through curbside food organics and garden organics FOGO bin services. This webinar focuses on how Calgary includes sustainable pet waste management into its approach to a citywide circular economy. Our speaker, Natalia Gonzalez, is a waste management professional with over 18 years of experience working in Colombia, Spain, and Canada. She holds a bachelor's degree in chemical engineering and has built a diverse career in industrial and hazardous waste management, collaborating with municipalities, private consultants, and waste brokers. Her international experience includes supervising the health and safety component of the biomedical waste program in Bogota, Colombia, and contributing to cleaner production planning for public transit maintenance in Madrid, Spain. For over 10 years, Natalia has worked with Calgary's Waste and Recycling Services. She currently serves as Waste Diversion Specialist, focusing on residential services, particularly the Green Cart program. As a subject matter expert, Natalia has contributed to the development and promotion of strategies that encourage proper disposal of pet waste through the city's Green Cart program. Her work includes collaborating with field staff to identify barriers to participation, supporting pilot projects, and helping shape public education campaigns that raise awareness about the environmental impact of pet waste. By combining technical expertise with community engagement, she plays a key role in making pet waste diversion more accessible and effective for Calgary residents. Natalia, thanks for being with us to talk about your city's Green Cart program.
Thank you, Rose, for the invitation, and to the Enviro Pet Waste Network for allowing us to share Calgary's experience with composting pet waste. Today's agenda, I am going to present an overall description of what the Green Cart program is from the residential program. I'm going to describe in a general manner the composting process at Calgary's industrial facility, and I will highlight some of the efforts made to educate residents and pet owners about opportunities to divert pet waste from the landfills. The Green Card program rolled out citywide in Calgary in 2017. From the beginning, Calgarians have embraced composting with over 80% of participation. And since the start of the program, we have been rated over 90% in customer satisfaction surveys. With the addition of the green card, the black card tonnage was reduced by 48%. And this was thanks to efforts made by residents recycling and composting materials all together. As program success factors, we can attribute three simple key components. The program includes all food scraps, that is also raw, cooked meat, bones, dairy, and a lot of materials that don't participate in backyard composting. It is convenient because the green card gets big every week in the spring and every other week in winter. You can feed in your green card yard waste during the summer of all times, And if there is any excess yard waste, we allow the use of paper bags for that type of material. And the third component is the green card is easy to notice the diversion. Homes that are regularly use their green card can see how much food scraps and yard waste they end up in the garbage and now are in the green card. On a citywide basis, we have over 119 million kilograms of annual waste that is turned into nutrient-rich compost instead of going into the landfills. Other materials accepted that are not included here, but also we have are coal, barbecue, wood cutlery, popsicle sticks, and some ashes from fireplaces. Why include pet waste in the Green Card program? So from the beginning, we saw a great potential in this type of material due to the 160 public off-leash areas, meaning that we have a large group of residents that are also pet owners. The first component that makes this happen is the composting facility capabilities. Our facility is the largest of its kind in Canada. I am talking about indoor composting in vessels and includes a pasteurization phase to eliminate all pathogens contributed by pet waste. The waste diversion potential, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, includes over 25,000 officially licensed pets that include dogs and cats, and this is considerable potential for diverting pet waste. And finally, it is convenient. We provide curbside pickup citywide every week or every other week, depending on the season of the year. So pet owners can easily place pet waste inside the green card without any inconvenience or without any issues on their end. Now that I mentioned the composting facility capabilities, let's look more about the composting facility per se. This is an aerial photo of the facility. Additionally to the areas display that receiving, vessels, screening, curing, and storage, the Calgary composting facility includes an education building that hosts around 50 to 60 tours of grade 4 to 7 students annually. Education is a big component for us. We make sure that kids get the information about the importance of diverting food scraps, yard waste, and pet waste so they can come home and share that information with parents and inspire them to participate actively in the programs. Our education room can accommodate up to 60 students at the same time and has a bird's eye view of the composting facility, where students can look at the receiving area or part on the vessels without actually walking inside the facility. And this is for safety purposes. The Calgary composting facility has also a demonstration garden used to show what are the advantages of using finished compost as a soil enhancement material. Now let's look at details about how the Calgary composting facility operates. First, we start by number one, the green card receiving area. On the tipping floor, around 500 truckloads loads a week provide source separate organics that come from green cards collected and residential households. The SSO comes from single family homes in Calgary, and we provide a service to over 350,000 houses in Calgary. At that point, employees remove any visible contamination and large items, including household hazardous waste. So anything that is visible large, like maybe a piece of wicker furniture, will be removed at this point. Then the material is moved into the shredding phase. The materials are taken into the shredding to open the bags, ensuring the material gets the right size to be placed in the vessels. Now the material is ready and has the right size, it is moved into the in-vessel composting. The material is loaded inside one of the 18 composting vessels where it cycles through a warm-up, pasteurization, active composting, stabilization, and cool-down phases. Everything happens in 21 days. The vessels are filled up 2/3 of their height level, leaving enough space to circulate air and maintain high temperatures, crucial for the pasteurization phase. After the 21 days, the material is taken into screening. During this phase, all large items that are not fully composted but has the potential, we are talking about large piece of wood, maybe a trunk, are reintroduced into a new cycle. And other materials that are not compostable, such as plastic, metals, and rocks, are disposed of in the landfill as overs. Once the material is screened, it's moved to the curing phase of the curing building, where it stays there for 21 days. The materials are transported from the screening area to the curing building by a conveyor belt. The materials are laid down on the floor on a series of piles, where air is sucked from the pile, like in a vacuum system style, to improve aeration process. The piles are also turned frequently to make sure the biodegradation process that is remaining is homogeneous in all the phases. After 21 days in curing, the material is moved into the screening and storage area. Once the material obtains the desired size, it is conveyed into a storage area for further maturity and stabilization. At this point, the compost is tested, following the regulations established by the Compost Council of Canada and the Compost Quality Alliance program. I will talk in detail about the testing a little bit further in the presentation. Here are some pictures of the vessels where the materials are loaded in. Each vessel is computer controlled and monitored for by the SCADA system that I will explain later as well. At this moment, in vessels, we will monitor three key factors: temperature, oxygen levels, and moisture. All of them to make sure the biodegradation process, the breakdown process, is completed as expected or desired. For temperature, we aim that all material inside the vessels must reach 55 centigrades Celsius or 131 Fahrenheit for 3 consecutive days to kill any harmful bacteria found in materials like a raw meat or bed waste. In terms of oxygen levels, the process of aeration consists of a series of pipes embedded on the floor. You can see those in the pictures on the bottom. And those pipes allow pumping air through the air. It's forced air coming from the bottom to the top to make sure the material breaks down in the process. When the air comes out of the top of the pile, it is sent through a large biofilter and ammonia scrubber system to mitigate any odors or smells generated during the invasive process. Finally, for moisture, we ensure that each vessel has sprinkles to add moisture as needed. As I mentioned, all these parameters are monitored by computer and are adjusted as needed to make sure we accomplish the parameters desired. Here a little more detail about the pathogen destruction process that we have in the vessels. So the pasteurization phase, or the phase where we kill all harmful bacteria of the composting, is the primary method for eliminating any pathogens, ensuring their destruction and removal in the feedstock. Pasteurization is dependent on maintaining optimal conditions in the compost process. Continuous real-time monitoring of temperature, airflows, and moisture during the active composting phase allows operators to ensure that regrowth of pathogens in the feedstock is prevented. Pathogens are further measured in the finished compost to meet compliance requirements. Here you can see, it is important to mention that to achieve the pathogen destruction, we achieve the 55 degrees Celsius and maintain for 3 consecutive days or equivalent in 72 hours. Here, there is a snapshot of the SCADA system. SCADA stands for Supervisory Control and Data Acquisition, presenting that temperature remains above 55 degrees for continuous 72 hours. Each vessel can be monitored individually and have its own graphical report. Again, all of that to guarantee that the pathogen destruction process is accomplished after the in-vessel composting phase is completed in 21 days. Here, I'm talking about when the material decomposes is finished and is in the storage area, we conduct a testing, and a for certification. After the curing period, samples of finished compost are collected following the methodology defined by the National Standard of Canada. This sampling process adheres to the Compost Quality Assurance Protocol, meaning one sample is submitted to lab tests for every 100 tons of finished compost. Samples will be shipped under a strict chain of custody to a third-party laboratory for analysis. Certified Category A for any types of use is accomplished for our finished compost. And Category A means that our finished compost can be used in a safe way for farms, gardens, parks, or nurseries, or commercial as well. Now we are moving on into what have we done in terms of educating pet owners. One of the outreach efforts that we have implemented from consistently since 2018 is the use of shelf talkers distributed in pet stores or any grocery stores that carries certified compostable bags. For pet waste, only in 2022, we joined efforts with a Youth Central, a nonprofit organization that provides volunteers opportunities for youth ages 12 to 17. And we deliver shelf talkers to 250 stores. For the design, we decided to select something that was appealing and charming, like this cute dog and cat, as the main characters of our collateral materials. The participating store managers receive a reference sheet highlighting the difference between biodegradable and certified compostable bags. And volunteers installed those shelf talkers in areas where pet waste bags were displayed. I mentioned we used the same strategy in 2018-19 before, and those efforts were only for certified compostable bags used as kitchen liners for food scraps. Continuing with the same design, we also create some bag rolls with a belly band with a simple message. Compostable pet bags, look for this logo. We accept certified compostable bags by BPI at B&Q in Canada. We partner with organizations like Animal Services, Calgary Humane Society, and Parks ambassadors to distribute these samples and educate residents and raise awareness about the importance of using only this type of bags when disposing of pet waste in the green card. Also, a brochure was designed presenting a little bit more information, key messages explaining the importance of diverting pet waste and why it is safe to do so. In this brochure, we highlight the capabilities of our composting facility and how we are able to reach the 55 degrees out 131 Fahrenheit that I mentioned before for 3 consecutive days to remove or kill off any harmful bacteria. So the finished compost will be safe to use at any purpose. And finally, I want to finish this webinar with some ongoing challenges that we have identified in these efforts to increase pet waste diversion in Calgary. First, we have pet waste bag confusion. Pet owners are facing some challenges when purchasing pet waste bags because of labeling differences. We can find compostable, which is not equal to certified compostable. We can find also biodegradable, made from plants, 60% recyclable materials, or some other labels that are aiming to greenwashing the product. Residents try to make their best choices, but because of the differences in labeling, they are confused and sometimes end up picking the wrong one. That's why advocating for regulation efforts in the government will be a key component to continue diverting pet waste in Calgary. Finally, we have public perception. Pet owners are still hesitant to place pet waste in the green card due to the presence of harmful bacteria. We are including messages that guarantee or ensure pet owners that even by putting raw meat or pet waste in the green card, our facility has the technology and the capability to pasteurize these materials and remove all pathogens, obtaining a final product that is nutrient rich and is not harmful for any use. Finally, I invite you over to contact me. This is my email address. Feel free to reach out with any questions you have, any comments about our pet waste diversion program, or any ideas that you may have to enhance our program. We are happy to receive any feedback to improve the efforts we are doing here in Calgary to increase pet waste diversion. Thank you.